Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And happy Friday, 1st of July to everyone out there getting ready for the holiday weekend. And while holiday weekends are fun for most of us, and I'll try to have some fun myself this weekend, it's not always fun for sales. And, if you go back to Memorial Day weekend, I don't think, at least I didn't have a lot of good sales. And I think that this weekend, this holiday weekend, is going to be no different. On the bright side, you do get a reprieve from shipping, so you don't have to worry about having all your weekend orders, shipped out on Monday because of the holiday. But want to know what you guys are planning on doing this weekend. If you're getting away, you're going to take advantage of that extra day, that type of thing, or if you're just going to be kind of hanging around and just barbecuing at home or whatever. So want to get rolling here, but let's say hi to a few people here. We have Kevin Hawthorne in the house. Thanks, Kevin, for hanging out with us. You're consistent. And I hope your eBay is just as consistent with the way you watch this channel. You're always there, so thank you. One Man Show. Greetings from Kansas City, Missouri. Awesome. I don't have it with me. I have my Mizzou cup, my Mizzou tumbler that my dad had that we kept. He went to the University of Missouri and actually grew up there. So I have family out in the Missouri area. So that's pretty cool. Gordon Koklaw, good evening from UK. Sales are poor. It also depends on what you're selling, and a lot of sellers in the same boat. Don't expect any sales over the weekend. Juan says, I'll be listing and organizing. LSG says, sup, Johnny boy? My dad used to say that to me. 97 Death Valley, Stamford, Connecticut. Hi, how you doing? Appreciate you showing up and hanging out with me today. Rob loves his Hydro Flask. I sold him this Hydro Flask, and it had like a little dent, a ding in it. And I wasn't even going to list the thing. And I actually had another, what is it, a thermos brand, one of those things that comes with a spoon and you eat out of it. That I just sold one of those today that had some dings in it. It was brand new. And, those things, it's like, who would want that? But I guess, if you have a couple dings in it, it's not that bad. It does, as long as it performs the way it's supposed to perform. So awesome. Glad you like it. Let's see. We have Eleomora. I'm late, but you're not that late. It's only 2 minutes late. So, and probably by the time I'm reading this, it's probably only about a minute late. So no big deal. Bubbles, blings, and needful things. Same as any day. Pictures, listings, cleaning. We don't have any family. There's no holidays. Interesting fact. Yeah, but I'm sure you have friends and that kind of thing. I hope you have friends. It's always healthy to try to meet people, whether they're resellers or not. And I have a good friend, Archie. I don't know if he's going to hang out with us today. I met him only because I have a YouTube channel. If I didn't have the YouTube channel, the guy reached out to me. He lives in the same town. We started talking about sales and eBay, and started to, let's meet up. So we met up, and, we'll go in on stuff, and we'll, talk about local deals. And it's always good to have at least some friends in the reselling side local to you, if you can network. That way you're not on an island, and, if something happens, you can say, hey, friend, come over and barbecue with me on 4th of July, that kind of thing. So gives you something to look forward to. Real quick, we have about 30 watching, and I'm sure we'll get up to about 70, 80. That's kind of what we do on this live stream. But what I want to kind of do is kind of set some ground rules. If you're watching us live right now, please hit the like button. Let's just start there. It does help the channel. I'd certainly appreciate that. But if you have any eBay related questions, please leave them in the chat, and either myself or someone will get to you. Hopefully be able to answer your questions, and we'll talk about it on the show. And if you're watching this after the fact, of course, put your comments and your questions down below, and I'll try to get back to you after the fact. That way, if you're not watching us live, you can always still kind of participate, and get your questions answered if you have any issues. Also, for those of you who are not subscribed to the channel, we do this live stream stuff maybe once, sometimes twice a week, and just want to just cover like maybe small topics that I'm not really interested in making a full-blown video about. and it gives me really a chance to really interact with you guys. You guys sometimes can get to know me better, that type of thing, and all is good. So what are you guys planning? I'm just trying to do something real quick on the video because I want to make sure it's up and running properly. Okay. So what are you guys doing this weekend? Please put that in the chat, and want to hear from you guys. I myself going to play with my Blackstone grill. You guys know I like to cook. Picked up a Blackstone grill. We're going to do the whole Benihana thing. So we got the shrimp, we got the steak, we got the whole rice thing, and we're gonna I say we, it's gonna be me that's going to be behind the grill and doing that. And then on Monday, maybe play a little golf early in the morning. Got a good deal, 4th of July deal with a buddy of mine in town. And then I'm going to do some tri-tip on the smoker. So that's always a winner. You really can't do wrong with that. But kind of hanging out. Wife came home with a bag, and I'm like, what did you buy? And she bought like $30 worth of like fireworks. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I'm not a big fan of fireworks. She bought sparklers and maybe those little things that, like flip and flop around the ground after you light them. Maybe when I was 12, I was kind of into it, but we'll do it just for fun. She wants to do it. So, it is what it is. And out here in Vegas, they sell them like a week prior to the holiday. Unfortunately, what happens this time of year for us, when you have small dogs, it's a problem. They get people that buy these black market fireworks, and they're like the bottle rockets. And you can go up anywhere in like the Vegas area where there's a view, and you can look down in the valley and everyone's shooting them off, and it's just nuts. So, it's cool on the 4th of July, but it gets annoying when people decide to launch them at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, like 5 days later. So it is what it is. But yeah, let me know what you're doing for the holiday. I'm curious if you guys are going to like a fireworks show, going to family. I know price of gas is just nuts, and it's really hard to justify spending like almost double what you would normally spend to go visit family out of state or whatever. So maybe you're going to stay home, but take some time for yourself. It is the holiday weekend. It'd be a drag if you're just using it just to list and ship the whole time. We have Hector in the house. Hector Weirworka. We have the Wisconsin picker. I have all next week off from work. Be trying to list a record collection I bought at a rummage of approximately 130 albums. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Cool thing about that is, if you have like a big bulk of the same type of items, now they're different albums, but I think that would be just really easy to list. And I only say that because I have all those patches and stuff that some people don't like me talking about because it's kind of repetitive, but I can relate in the fact that you just set a template up, and just change the album name, throw the new photos in, and pretty much, unless you're doing different prices, you can just list like crazy. So that hopefully shouldn't take you too long to get through. We've got Linda Duval, West Virginia. Awesome. So it's about 5 o'clock right now, your time. The Super 405, hey, from Oklahoma City, just hit 700 listings, breaking personal sales records. Summer hasn't slowed anything. For me, I have pretty much doubled the number of items. I'm at 700 as well. I'm kind of teeter-tottering between 700, and then once I hit 7, eBay wants to bring me down under 7, which I'm totally fine with. And it's just that teeter-totter effect. My sales are some days, doing really well, and you have to replenish those listings. But last year at this time, I had about half of the number that I have now, and the sales are just about the same for me. It's really not. Yeah, the items that I have in my store maybe I've dropped off a little bit as far as the price. We talked about that in the video I did the other day, where I want to start focusing more on the actual value, the actual price of the item. Versus the quantity of the listings that I'm putting up, because we can sit there and list $10, $15 items, the easy list items. You guys know what kind of items I'm talking about. And yeah, you can make money with that. And at the end of the day, you're shipping more items, you're listing more items. Maybe you're building bigger stores, but as compared to running a smaller store with items that have a higher price point, you're dealing with maybe less work, less shipping, maybe more headaches as far as higher risk type items. But I've done kind of both. And, I tried to add more volume to my store, thinking that, hey, maybe I'm just not listing enough items. Maybe I need to show eBay that I'm listing, the more items I list, the more it'll give me. But I'm not seeing much consistency with that model. And so while I'm fine with having 700 listings, and I want to grow my store, of course, I see a lot of good stores out there that are, 1 to 2, 3,000. That's kind of where I want to be. I want to start adding more items that have that higher price point. So maybe you have a different business model. Want to hear your argument for the opposite, but put your comments in the chat and we'll talk about it. Elio Morris's connection is key for business. Yeah, you got to network. You have to, be able to reach out. Heck, if you don't have anyone, there's a lot of people who reach out to me. Flipping ain't easy 2020 at gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll be glad to chat with you. Now, I'm not always checking that email every day. There's times that I'll get back to you a couple days late, but I will eventually reply to you. So certainly you're not on an island out there when it comes to reselling. Just have the YouTube family. Thank God for this community. Yeah, it's good to have. And I'm glad that you're here with us. Glad that you have decided that it's worth your while to hang out with us today. And that's the amazing thing for me. If you would have asked me 2 years ago when we started this channel, do you think that you'd have this number of subscribers, anyone that many people that would care what I had to say about certain subjects? And I would say, no, it would be probably where we'd have 500, maybe 1,000 subscribers. But I'm just so amazed at the number of people who not only subscribe and watch the videos, but come here and hang out. I didn't give you guys much notice. I put this out 3 hours prior to the live. And a lot of it is, I kind of knew that I wanted to do the live today, but a lot of it is not really knowing. I want to have a topic of something to talk about. And that's the biggest thing. It's the hardest thing about being on the YouTube, because, I have like 300 videos. Think about 300 videos. I mean, how many times can you talk about the same topic over and over again? And that's the challenge. So if you guys are ever considering doing YouTube, it's not as easy as it looks. There's a lot of time devoted to, editing videos and just researching stuff to talk about. So thankful that you guys are here and can kind of help me through it, because a lot of it's because of your participation. That's for sure. One Man Show says, do you trust USPS carriers if you have stuff going out, giving it to them, or would you rather take it to the post office? I 100% trust the carriers that come to my house. What I do is I go on to USPS.com, you create the account and you set up a pickup schedule. So I'll tell them I have 5 priority mail packages, 5 first class packages. It doesn't have to be exactly 10 that they're picking up. There's some days they pick up 3. There's some days they pick up 30 or 40. And it's just a notification to let them know that you have packages to pick up. Now, what's cool about it is you get an email. So once they pick up the items, you get an email from USPS.com saying that the carriers picked up your items. And usually that happens after they've scanned the items. Now, I know some carriers, they want that sheet. You print out that sheet so they can just scan them. It's easier for them. Thankfully, I've got pretty cool carriers. I think I've had one ask me for it, and I kind of played stupid because I didn't want to deal with that, because I don't run all my labels off of eBay. I run some off of Pirate Ship, and it would have been kind of a mess for me to have to do that. And it's not a requirement either. It's just them wanting to, I don't want to say be lazy, but it makes their job easier. But it's pretty cool. Now, I've had, I believe, 2 occasions in the last 2 years, so it doesn't happen very often, where no one will show up to your house. And it's usually when you have a backup carrier, the main carrier is gone. They've got that third or fourth string carrier, never been to your house before. They never show up, but yet, you have to take the packages in yourself. But yet sometime later that evening, they mark it as that they've come to your house because you get that email. No. So, I haven't taken it that far where I've complained. It doesn't happen very often, but it is a pain. I think one day was like on a Tuesday after a holiday weekend. I had to take a ton of packages, and I'm 5 miles away from my carrier. So it is a pain. But definitely go on to USPS.com. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can set a schedule, I think like 6 to 8 months out. And what I do is I go in and pick Monday through Friday, and I don't do Saturday shipping at all. So they know they don't have to come to my house on weekends. So it works really good. A lot of stuff here, you guys. Do you sell any larger furniture on eBay? Is it worth it, or is shipping too high? I think shipping's too high, and I avoid that kind of thing. And I know that Biscuit Butt Archie, the guy that's I met that's across town here, we talk about stuff. He gets the auctions, the locker auctions, the storage unit auctions, and he gets a lot of furniture there. But it's just too costly to try to ship stuff like that on through the mail. So he'll do local pickup through like OfferUp and stuff like that. I generally avoid pallets that have large items like furniture. Like I just listed a large multifunction laser printer. Thing was 45 pounds. It's a big Xerox printer. And I know that because I use calculated shipping. I don't ever do free shipping on that kind of an item. I know it's going to be every bit of maybe between $40 and $70, depending on where it's being shipped to for that buyer. But, it's not that bad. It has the styrofoam and everything. So I know it's not going to get damaged. That's another thing. You're shipping something like that, and if it gets damaged, well, guess what? You're going to be on the hook for the return shipping back to you when they file that return claim. So smaller items, higher price point is to me like the perfect item that I can sell. The smaller, the better. The more value it is, the better. But of course, you have a lot of other resellers that are sourcing items like that, keeping that kind of thing in mind. LSGS Rob says, my Goodwill is a 50% off of all clothing on Monday. So I'm going to go and try to buy at least 2 to 3 weeks worth of inventory, hoping to get a month's worth. And I just, I do sell clothing. I have clothing that I've been opening some of my tubs. I've actually gone through my boxes. So I had maybe, we bought like 80 boxes of merchandise, like maybe 2 to 3 months ago. And now after we went through them all to weed through the stuff we weren't going to be bothering with, we did keep some clothing that were new with tags, because there's an element of people out there who won't buy used clothing. They want it new. And, I'm into these items for like $2 to $3 a piece. And it's worth my time to list them $15, $20, free shipping, that type of thing. But I won't really go to the Goodwills or yard sales. Part of it is because I really just don't have a lot of experience with clothing to know what I'm looking for. See a lot of channels that do it and that kind of thing. I just don't want to have a large inventory of items that are, I'm now having to compete against other resellers. It's a very saturated market, and you really need to know what you're doing, what you're looking for. Otherwise, you're going to be behind the 8 ball, I think. Let's see. One Man Show says, I think I might do some DoorDash or Uber if the rates. Otherwise, I'll continue listing. I'll share a secret with you guys. I'll show you. You guys wouldn't believe this. I signed up a few months ago, and I actually have done about 10 of these because if things get really bad on the reselling side, I don't want to spin my wheels. It's one thing you keep listing and listing and listing and listing, and there's no sales. So I've done about 10 of these. It's Corner Shop. Now, shouldn't have showed the card number, but nonetheless, that's their problem. It's not my credit card. I do Corner Shop every once in a while. and it's kind of a change of pace. Now it's nuts going out here in the heat, but there's just sometimes that I just need to take a break where I still want to make some money. And Archie's kicking butt on that side of town, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I have no problem. I like to go shopping. I like to cook. I know a lot about where things are at the grocery store. I'm the main shopper here at the house. So far it's been okay. Just trying it out because people are always going to need groceries, and sometimes they just can't get to the store, that type of thing. And it's one of those things where you have a backup plan. And I think I haven't done it in like a week or so. I may take a few hours and just go so they don't kick me off the app. But it's kind of cool. You guys didn't know that kind of thing about me, but I'm always looking for ways to maybe get my hustle on, and to have all my eggs in one basket like eBay, I think is maybe a huge mistake. Juan Man Show says gig delivery apps can be a good mix for reselling, can give chance to source while out and list the slow hours. What's cool about that, because like I said, I buy my groceries here. Jenna, she'll go to the store. The worst mistake that I can make is to ask her to go to the store, because she's going to kill me for this, but I'll just tell you the truth. We'll need 3 things from the store. She'll come back with 20. And it's like, we didn't need all that. So I could stick to the script and, buy what's needed. And, I think a lot of times we can impulse buy stuff that we think we want, and then we never eat it or use it, and we have to throw it away. And it just drives me nuts. Let's see. A lot of places will be having big flea markets for the 4th and special estate sales. My thought is that's kind of the worst time to host sales, or are a lot of people going to flea markets on that Monday, or are they going to be hanging out at home doing the barbecue? I think maybe Sunday might be better for that, but I just don't think the mentality is, I want to buy. I think the mentality, I think I made a sale. My phone Cha-chinged and I don't have it with me. So whatever that is. So you guys are good luck to me. I just made another sale. No, but I just don't think the mentality of buying a lot of stuff this weekend is kind of there. I was looking at maybe selling these, you guys are sick of my patches, but these are US Navy patches from uniforms. I was thinking about maybe doing a whatnot on the 4th, and because it's 4th of July, Independence Day, US like nostalgia type of stuff. But I'm torn with the idea that who's really looking for that kind of stuff, even though it is the 4th of July. I think they're maybe spending time with family and friends and not taking the time. With that said, I think it's a good time to source. So if you source online, or maybe even at the store, if you source online, I think it's a good time to get deals. Like if you deal with like auction sites, like I deal with a lot, not so many people are out there buying, and you might be able to grab a deal. I grabbed a deal the other day. Now, it wasn't tied to the holiday weekend. Grabbed a deal the other day on some merchandise that would normally cost me $600. Spent $400, and hey, I'm going to take advantage of that every time. One of the things someone told me, actually, Jenna told me about a deal that, and I'll have to find, if I have my phone with me, it's in the other room for some reason. It's for a GoPro 8, a GoPro Hero 8. And you can go there and ask them for it. It's the black one. And some Targets have them for $99.99 right now. Now, I went, as soon as she told me that, I got up this morning, ran over to the Target, and I gave him, it's a DC something code. And he looked it up and said, yeah, you're the second person that asked me about this today. Not all stores get them. Some get overstock, and maybe you have a store in your area that has them, but you can flip them for I think they go for like $190, $200. So I think it's pretty good flip technology, brand new technology like that. If you can get a good deal on them, it's a pretty good flip. So maybe something to look forward to if you guys wanted a BOLO that I can offer you. Didn't work out for me, but that doesn't mean it won't work out for you. Biff Bofo. I keep seeing L's there. So my contacts. I got one here and one not here. It's a monovision type thing. And I just keep seeing BOLO. So Biff Bofo, this is just another weekend for me. I made sure to get all my Tuesday orders shipped today so that buyers don't complain about the long wait, even though it wouldn't have been my fault. As long as, whenever a buyer emails me about something like, hey, when are you going to ship this out? I will remind them that eBay gives them a range of dates that it'll arrive. I said, don't worry, it'll be at your address between these dates. Now, of course, it's easier said than done. We know that there's delays in every method of shipping, but at least it calms the waters. And the very few times I get that kind of request from a buyer, normally people are fairly patient. Let's see. We have Dave B. Question: what is the best pricing strategy for an item? Cheap price and quick turnover, or mid-range price and slow sales? It just depends on each and every person's different, right? I will look at the comps. So when you go in and do an eBay search for your item, down the left side, it'll say sold items. Click on that and you'll see a list of items that have sold. You can tell that they're sold items because they're in green. The prices are in green. Get an idea of how many in the last 90 days. There should be a number up top. How many have sold? Go back to the listed items and see how many items you're competing against. So, if there's 10 sales and there's 1,000 up for sale, it's going to be tougher to compete against them if you try to set higher prices. How does one compete with 1,000 other sellers when they have the same item? And, we're assuming you have good listings, good photos, good titles, and that's your price. So if you have a good price, you're going to be seen higher up in those searches where they're searching based on price. So they're doing lowest plus shipping, that type of thing. On the flip side of that coin, you can try to work the promoted listing strategy where you maybe have a little higher than average sale price, right? Let's say you're selling new whatevers and you're focusing on the new prices. Don't focus on the used or the open box. Just focus on the brand new ones and get an average in your mind of what those items are selling for. Know what your cost is so that you're comfortable with selling it at a lower price if you have to, but maybe start at that rate, okay, because you're competing with a lot of other people, and use the promoted listings. Go to recommended plus maybe 1%. Get yourself above the pack as it pertains to placement for best match search. Now, promoted listings, just one facet of it. Again, your account health, how there's so many intangibles that are involved in your placement in best match search, but your photos, your price has a big part of it. But I've seen best match search where you had the highest price up near the top. I'm assuming they had a high percentage. So there's a lot of different things and tweaks that you can do. But either price, if you're into it for $2, you're selling it for 20. You probably can get away with bringing it down to 15. You're going to maybe double, triple your money after your fees, shipping, if it's a small enough item. Are you comfortable with that? You have to ask yourself, what are you trying to do here? Are you just trying to make something? Then lower the price. If you're trying to milk a product, let's say you can't source that very often. Maybe the item is a pretty decent item. You have a limited quantity of that item. Maybe you shouldn't just flip it fast. Wait for that. I don't want to say wait for the unicorn buyer, but wait for that average buyer. It may take you a week to move the stuff, but you're not going to see that product again. So get as much as you can. So there's so many intangibles that's loaded in the answer to that question. So hopefully that'll give you some ideas. Those are just kind of things that I think about when I'm dealing with items that are fairly decent. Like we received a couple nice Sony headphones in some of these mystery boxes that we picked up a few months back. I saw that some of the comps for an open box set, perfect condition. were going for like 150. I could have listed them for that, got the quick flip. Instead, I listed them for, I think, 219. I think retail was 299. And I waited a week and I sold both of them. And uh, no issue for me. So that's really dependent on the seller. And, maybe you just need the money quick. Maybe you need to get through this and you're just trying to build up some momentum in your store, build up capital where, sitting on an item for 2-3 months just isn't in the cards for you. Biff Bofo says, June was my second best month this year, just about 2% better than June 2021. I take that as a win. However, I see traffic falling, so it's a tough fact to overcome. You're right. It's tough. It's hard to say. I'm down. I'm like really down from what I did last year, like 30 to 40% in sales. I didn't have a bad June last year. It was July and August that really kicked me in the butt, and I had a bad June this year. So, I'm just going to keep plugging away. What's the worst thing that can come out of it? If you're listing, and not getting as many sales, you're going to have a larger store when Q4 hits. And I'm not all that optimistic about Q4, but it's going to be better than I think a summer slowdown type situation. So we'll just have to see. That was my strategy last year. It worked, build up my store a little bit. Knew I wasn't going to get great sales in the summer. And that's kind of the same strategy that I'm going to follow this time. Sausage Links seems to agree. Slow as chit. Ricardo is in the house. Hello, John. Greetings from Orange County. Light up that halo. June sales were slightly up compared to 2021, up 1.4%. However, the overall sales in 2022 are down about 10% compared to 2021. Silver lining, maybe your tax liabilities will be lower this year if you have less earnings. So I always try to look for some kind of a silver lining at the end of the day. But yeah, it is concerning to me. Again, I know that some of it's my fault. My own, just people out there that are still killing it. Like you said, your sales are up 1.4% in 2022. What says, well, June sales slightly up compared to 2021. So yeah, your June sales are up. So you're doing something right. And obviously I'm not doing something right if I'm down quite a bit more than, I'm down 20, 30, 40%. I didn't really look at my numbers before coming on, but I know it's not very good. I've had some good days, had some $500, $600, $700 days, followed with maybe $150, $200 sales days. And my goal has always been to try to find a way to get my daily sales above 500 a day. And based on the kind of stuff that I'm sourcing, it's going to be a volume game. It's going to be a numbers game because my numbers, my average price per sale is somewhere around 20. I think I showed you guys 22, 23 bucks, where I think as like a year ago, it was like 35, 40 bucks. So I just need to get back to that. And I'm not the only one struggling here. I could come on here and tell you guys how great I'm doing, how I'm killing it. And some of you would see through that. It would fool a few of you, but what good am I doing? I think I use this channel to be accountable, not only to you guys, but to myself. And it kind of keeps me in check. So I fear that if I didn't have this channel, I probably would lose sight of a lot of the information that I need to be looking at, my stats, my numbers, my traffic, that kind of thing. So I appreciate you guys being there and holding me, even though you're not, but just the fact that you're there and I'm sharing this information with you, you're holding me accountable. So I certainly appreciate that. And he also says, Ricardo says, it's tough sledding, getting those sales during those difficult times. Hang in there, everyone. Flipping ain't easy. And it ain't easy. No one said it was hard. I think when I made this channel, I had some bigger channels come out and say, flipping isn't hard. Flipping isn't hard at all. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's not. But anyone that can say it's easy, it's a walk in the park, and they have had no issues, no headaches. Either they're not selling very many items or they're just not doing something right, in my opinion. Beth says, finally catching the one live. Usually have to watch replay. Hello from Canada. Holiday here with, today is Canada Day, the 1st of June. So happy Canada Day for you guys out there in Canada. And I don't know if that's like a barbecue day for you. I know that us here in America, we use these holidays, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day are really big days where we like to barbecue. And of course, I am no different. I love my barbecue. And if I wasn't doing an eBay channel, I think I'd be doing a food channel because I just enjoy it so much. Art Betzold, only a block and a half from USPS, so take it in. Yeah, if you're, like me, I could probably, I've had UPS call me, wanted to set up some kind of an account with me. And we went back and forth calling each other, leaving messages. And finally I just said, forget it. I'm about a block away from the UPS store. So every day I have my alarm set. They're open till 7. I have my alarm on my phone set daily at 6:30, just in case I forget, I'm wrapped up in something else. I'll immediately stop what I'm doing, get my stuff in there before they close at 7. And it's 10 minutes, literally from the time I leave here to the time I come back, it's 10 minutes. But the post office, that's 5 miles. I think it's like 5 to 6 round trip. And it's just a pain, it's hitting stop signs along the way. And it's just, and coming back, there's a lot of traffic. So we're dealing with maybe 40, 45 minutes out of my day wasted. And I certainly appreciate having a carrier come to my house. There's one thing you could do if you're starting to make good sales. If you're making daily sales, you need to have your pickup from your carrier. It's going to save you a lot of time and hassle. Alan Nelson says, eBay question, since GoDaddy Bookkeeping is no longer active, how are you handling your bookkeeping? Well, I'm actually reflecting a little bit. What GoDaddy Bookkeeping did for me was it took all my transactions from my checking accounts, right? And I actually had last year, 2 checking accounts tied to 2 different accounts. Don't ask me why I did that. I fixed that now. So I have a business account and I have my personal account. So I'm actually moving money when I need to from my business account to my personal account. So that kind of wipes this account out, right? So I can easily track my deposits in this main account with not having a lot of just stuff in the way. And I have limited a lot of my business spending to like 1 credit card if I'm not using this account. So I can wipe out a lot of that. I do know that, of course, you have your invoices from eBay. You have your 1099 at the end of the year. eBay is reporting this dollar amount to the IRS. So I'm not trying to make waves. I'm going to report that dollar amount as well. But I figure that for me, it's more of something that won't take me very long. I'll download reports for the year for this main checking account, download my reports for the year from that credit card, have my eBay invoices, my Mercari invoice, actually my Mercari 1099, which is going to happen this year. Poshmark, maybe, all those sites that are going to give you that information, and put them in a spreadsheet. You have your income in, you have your expenses going out. That's eBay fees, the cost of shipping, your cost of goods, that kind of thing as your expenses. Anything you buy for your office, if you need a new monitor for your computer, if you need a new desk for your area that you're working in, those kind of things are all labeled as expenses. So I buy most of my stuff through Amazon. I mean, it's just so much easier with Amazon Prime, ship it to my house, usually the next day or a few days later. And that works for me. So I limit the number of places I'm doing business with. I limit the number of cards and accounts that I'm using for my expenses and for my payments. And I figure I don't need, some people say, hey, you shouldn't worry about spending $200 something a year for, accounting. I think what QuickBooks has like 200 something bucks for the year. But do I really need it? Even when I was using GoDaddy Bookkeeping, I was still going in my accounts. And sometimes with GoDaddy, you have to go in and find duplicate. There's a lot of duplicates that they report. So you have to wipe that out. And the amount of work that I put in at the beginning of the year to get ready for my taxes, getting all that data together, I can do it just as easy on my own with Excel. If you know Excel, you're familiar with Microsoft Excel, that's something that you should do. Now, if you're not familiar with those kind of programs, then get a program like Quicken. Write off the $250 in, at the end of the year, and that'll save you a lot of headache. Or if you sell enough, get an accountant. I just don't feel like at the end of the day that I'm ready for an accountant yet to spend. I don't even know what they run. I haven't even checked into that, but maybe it's $100, $200 a month. My account is not ready to do that. So C. Lewis, eBay is doing 20% off coupon code on their limited categories. I'm offering the same offer on my stores with my own coupon code with the same offer. I adjusted my prices first, so it wasn't a big hit. Yeah, that's something you can do. I have a 5% coupon. It's rolling over every month to the end of the year. That's the lowest you can go. But for me, if I'm priced competitively and there's no difference between mine and my competitor's listing, that buyer clicks on my listing, they see the same price, but they say, I can apply this 5% promo code and save themselves a few bucks. I may get their sale over the next person. So I really like the coupon codes. More toys than joys. Someone has copied my entire store on a Depop, and they drop ship off of you. Any advice? Wow. It tells me that you're now a supplier for somebody. And if your prices are good and you're good with selling your items at the price they're selling, then I would do one of two things. Just let it go. Be happy you're getting someone that's selling your items, right? You have a dedicated buyer. Or join Depop and undercut them. And that will solve that, right? Because obviously, if you're selling trinket for $15, they're on Depop selling it for $20, right? Why don't you just join Depop, cross post, and you guys know that I don't have it in my description. I should have did it before we got on here, but I'll add it later. Or you could check one of my other videos. There's a link you can click on, get 14 days for free. I believe they do Depop. It's Prime Lister, where you can get your stuff over there and undercut your competition. So there's one of two ways you can handle it. Hawk Feather Stories. Savage Pickers is looking forward to a nice low-key weekend with the family. Get sales. It'll be a blessing. However, not focused. Weekly auction I attend is on a hiatus this weekend. Yeah. I think a lot of those auctions, they know that there's going to be a lot of people traveling and doing other things. So I'm surprised that if there are any swap meets and things like that, I'll be surprised if they get the kind of traction that they normally do. But sometimes you just got to take time away. Jenna was all happy today. Her job, she's in training. They found out that they get Friday off today. They get, of course, they're normally off weekends anyway. And then Monday they get off, and it's the Friday and Monday are paid. So she's all excited and happy, just kind of taking it easy. And I think I kind of want to do that as well. But after we're done with this, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get my my drafts completed for the weekend, because you guys know I don't take the days off, but I do launch my drafts, and then I spend the rest of the day doing whatever I want to do. The Quicker Flipper Picker Upper, heading into work tonight, but wanted to say hi, press the like button, and show some love. Happy 4th. Happy working tonight, and hopefully it's not too busy for you. And thank you for at least dropping in and saying hi. Carol C says there's no yard sales around here this weekend, and I think most people know it's going to be tough to get a lot of traffic in their yard sales. You may still get them, but I just think a lot of people are kind of on that same level. Whenever there's a holiday weekend, like I have a lot of items that are ending this weekend on my other account, patches and stuff, and I have to temper my own expectations. I don't have a lot of bids on the items, and it's because people just aren't going to be around to buy it. So if you're dealing with a lot of auctions, you'll notice that items might be lower than normal because you don't have the same number of people. So just while it's a benefit if you're actually sourcing that way, it's going to be a hindrance when you are looking for a return on a certain item. I think it's going to be not too hot this weekend. Let's see. Wanda says, I have needed to send a buyer an invoice since Monday. When I try, I get red banner error saying try later. What gives? I've had that before on one of my listings. I went back later and it worked. eBay's full of glitches, so it is possible that you're dealing with that. And Tommy Bernard podcast says if they've initiated a payment already, the invoice will occur. So, check that as well. Biff Boffo says eBay is really pushing us to make a store video. Have you made one yet? I haven't made one yet. The only videos I do are like one I forgot to upload. After we're done here, I'm going to upload. I listed a Xerox printer, and I made a 30-second video to show that it prints a perfect print, just to show that it works. And I need to upload that. But that's about all I do. Only my higher price listings will I take a video of to show its functionality. Again, I think I mentioned this before, if you have a niche, make a video. You're going to attract people who are looking for your type of item. It makes your store look more legit. For me, I sell everything. I may do one. See, the thing is with the whole patches, I'm out of my good stuff. And unless I find, a replenishable source, more people are selling their military stuff, which I doubt. Then yeah, maybe I'll consider making a video. And I just think that I'm going to be dying out on that store here pretty soon, unless I find more stuff. So it's probably not worth it for me. But those stores who, month in and month out, they're replenishing their stock of whatever that they're selling and they're in a niche, definitely I think it's a good idea. And it won't take you that long to do it either. Let's see. Let's kind of scroll down here and kind of catch up to you guys. No One Designed 2's in the house. Say, John, great live. Thank you for hanging out with us. You guys make it great, though. And let's just be honest. I would be up here rambling about just crazy stuff. I think maybe the first 15 minutes, I have something to talk about. But it would be a dull live stream without you guys. I was also going to mention I had one of those returns where I shipped this. It's like a $30 shelf set, like a 3-piece, 3 shelves, and it has all the brackets and everything. It was brand new and got a sale, shipped it out, and immediately upon them receiving it, they opened a return saying wrong item sent. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And I even looked, I'm like, did I send the wrong shelf? I have a few different shelves that I list every once in a while. No, they got the right one. And so I just, approved the return. It came back and it wasn't even in the same box. So they took it out of the original retail packaging. They threw it in a USPS box. They only returned 2 of the 3 shelves. I don't know what they're doing. Looked further, the person had 0 feedback, and the name on the label that they gave me to ship it to was MM. So it tells me that they had intended, I don't know why they needed one of the shelves, but okay. They only got half their money back. They didn't get any of the shipping they paid. So joke's on them. Hopefully, I'm actually welcoming them to file a chargeback because I know I'll win that case. Got photos of it, and I did spend a lot of time on it, but I just thought, it's just like, here we go, another buyer trying to scam. I'm surprised they got any of the shelves back, to be honest with you. So whenever that happens, just know they have to return everything. They have to return the packaging, has to be in the same condition, a bunch of hair in the box. It's pretty gross, but nonetheless, I'm out $11, and of course I can't sell the set because it's no longer a complete set. Trashed it and just moved on. Let's see. 2022 has been the worst, scariest year I've had in a decade. Yep, just keep listing. Q4 may help pick up the slack. That's all you can do is be optimistic and hope that things are going to get better, which they eventually will over time. You could say, I'm going to shut my store down. I'm just going to go out and do whatever. and there's nothing wrong with that. I guess you can go do the corner shop thing, the Uber thing, and go where the money is. But I think you're losing an opportunity to build your store for Q4. This is definitely, especially when you can source a little lower right now. People are willing to get rid of some of their collectibles and things that maybe because they need the money, right? They're trying to pay their bills. That's where we got these patches from. So just something to keep an eye out on is maybe through like OfferUp, or there's some other apps out there that will maybe lead you to some places to find some pretty good deals. What else do we got here? Yokov Benz, hopefully I got that right, didn't butcher your name there. Thinking of turning my live New York City channel to just lives. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's easier for the editing part. I think sometimes you could do that one take video if you're a YouTuber, and me, I would be butchering it all day long. I make so many mistakes when I'm making my videos, and maybe it's just me being picky about things, but I'm always editing my stuff because I watch these videos too, and you don't want a bumbling fool out in front of you trying to explain something. And half the time I still don't edit everything out, but I get what you're saying. Kenshi Kenjinji, I think I got that wrong bad. Sales will pick up on the 3rd when people get their eBay bucks, but you'll have to see the Fed ease interest rates to see sales pick up permanently. I saw a video showing that they were looking into offering like the monthly payments to people. Like with kids, you get so much money, and even if you don't have kids, you get so much money if you make like under a certain threshold. I fear that that's kind of why we're part of the reason why we are where we are. All this free money that is being given out to people, and it seems great, seems fun, it's awesome. You give me free money, but it in the long run it devaluates the currency. So your dollar doesn't have the same buying power that it had 2-3 years ago because there's more of it, right? Just simple supply and demand. But I think people look at the instant gratification they're getting from this free money that they fail to even think about that kind of thing. Tim says, hit that like button. I'm hitting my beer as I watch with smoked salmon. Smoked salmon. I love smoked foods. I caught a 33-pound salmon back in 2018 in September at the Rogue River in Oregon. So that's my big fishing moment, and it was pretty good. Definitely smoked salmon. Tommy says, going from everything seller to niche is the best thing I've done for so far. Sales are up 290% year over year. The key is finding that supplier. So I'm going to ASD next month in August. And for those of you who don't know what ASD is, I don't know what the acronym is, but it's where all the wholesalers go, whether you're buying jewelry, whether you're buying really anything you could think of that you can buy in wholesale, they have it there. And it's just like 3 convention halls full of wholesalers. And I went there and I didn't really take it all that seriously. I mean, I was sourcing okay. I think in hindsight, I probably could have done better. Finding a wholesaler that I could hook up with that maybe would allow me to niche down. I think, having that experience of going there, it's out in Vegas this year. I think the 21st of August, and something I'm going to approach a little differently this year, and hopefully I can source better. But to answer what you're saying, it's 100% about sourcing. If you don't have that supplier that you can go to and continually get those replenishables, or at least different items in the same niche, then it's very, very difficult to do that. Let's see. Tommy says, I have a code for 10 years of free UPS pickup account. I'll verify it still works. If so, I'll send it to you and you can share it. Awesome. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that can certainly use it. I don't have any today, but I'd say 4 out of 5 days, I'll usually have quite a few UPS packages that needs to be shipped out. Side Hustle Sam says, what is your opinion about sellers who specialize in items, clothes, shoes only versus sellers who don't specialize? I think that it's better to niche. It certainly is better to niche because there's some things that you can do that you can't do if you sell everything. Like, for instance, a coupon, and I did this. I actually tried this. I don't have them here with me. Many of you guys have seen them before. I actually made on my thermal printer like these coupons, like these thank you for buying from my store. Use this code to get like 10% off your next order. And I would put it on the outside of the package, right by the label. So I mail it out and they say, oh yeah, I can use this for 10% off. I have an everything store. And guess how many times that coupon code was used? 0. You didn't use it at all. But like taking a look at this niche store that I have for the military stuff, I think half the people buy my stuff it says that they're repeat buyers. And something like that, I think would be better. And I've been using the coupon feature to send anybody who's bought from me to come back at my store and take 10% off, that kind of thing. Maybe need to up it to 20%. But that's working on at least on a small level, that's working. So, you know, if you're selling everything, it is a little more difficult. It's a good starting point, I think. You can then start selling things that you can maybe now know that if I was the niche down, I'm steering away from this. Like for me, I can go to Goodwill right now, maybe just buy a bunch of clothing, learn as I go, niche down within the clothing category. And it would take me a few months to kind of get good at something, but it doesn't interest me. Clothing doesn't interest me. It never really has. Because there's a lot of competition in that category, I don't want to be involved in that. So you have to find something that's going to have demand and have less competition, I think, to really make it worth your while to niche down. And when you find that, just keep hitting it, keep buying. You find that supplier, multiple suppliers, and just focus on that. That's what I would say to do. I haven't reached that point yet. One day I will meet that supplier that's going to allow me to build that relationship where I can be into an item for $5, sell it for 25. I know who my customers are. I build a customer base and I can just go that way. But there's times that I get worried. Like, you know what? I can't find the stuff I'm used to selling, you know, the everything boxes, right? At least not at the prices I'm looking for. And, you know, I think I made a video a few months back. I was getting really worried and I'm not there anymore, but it's definitely something that is always a concern. Sourcing for me is the hardest part of this business. And until I get that fixed, it's going to continue to be that for me. No one designed to. eBay finally added the copy feature in the coupon section before we had to create the same coupon from scratch. Yeah, glad they did that. I've had to do that a couple times. Happy and joyful. I've learned so much from you. My sales are going up. Just had to work harder. That's all. More quality listings. That's what it is. You got to fix your listings. It's easy to hit that sell similar. And then just piggyback off that listing. Yeah, they were able to sell their item. But if you look at a lot of the similar listings, got to be very careful. There's people that'll throw just random stuff in their item specifics that if you're not careful, it'll stick to your listing. Like, I don't have free returns, but sometimes you can get a listing and the bottom, they have these item specifics that they've free-handed. Free returns, 100% satisfaction, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't disagree with some of that stuff. I don't want it linked to mine. I don't want them to say, look, you said free returns, but you're making me pay, that kind of thing. So you got to be very careful with that. Couple of pickers says, I still love my crafts and I don't see Rob getting too excited about selling these. So it's probably a good idea to mix it up. Old electronics don't do it for me either. So I guess we're a good combo. All right. And then 100 Acre Wood says they were stealing, swapping off a broken product for years. Yeah, one of the shelves had a chip on it that didn't have. These are brand new shelves, and the styrofoam internal packaging and all that. There was nothing wrong with these shelves, and until they got a hold of them, so it may be that as well. John, we appreciate you too. Feel it's a pleasant treat when you pop up on live. Been with you since the beginning, and you're always stayed real. That's all I can do. I don't think I could live with myself if I came on here and just faked my way through it. I don't mind you guys thinking that sometimes I am a bumbling idiot, and that's just sometimes me. I'll ramble sometimes. When I was working my 26-year career, I was in training, and I would get on my soapbox and go off on tangents. I knew it, and I try not to do that here with this channel, but sometimes I do. And sometimes you guys even remind me, hey, enough about whatever. Yeah, just me, and it's because I'm being real and I'm not scripted. You know, a lot of times YouTubers will have a script. In fact, some recommend that you have a script. Write down what you're going to say, like if you almost were reading it off of a teleprompter. That's not who I am. I know the subject, try to hopefully know the material about what I want to talk about. I get out in front of that camera and I'll start talking, and sometimes I'll stop myself and say, okay, we're going to cut there because I just went off on a tangent. It's not easy, but it's better than feeling like I'm a scripted fool up in front of you guys, trying to, blow smoke up your bums for what? You guys, if I got no more viewers, no more subscribers than I do, it's more than what I ever expected with this channel. Yeah, we're trying to grow the channel. If you do enjoy this channel, share it with other resellers. Let them know about it. Help me grow the channel. I think the more people we have, the better the community. Was talking with Biscuit Butt, the idea of maybe starting a forum, like a Facebook forum, like a Flip It Ain't Easy forum, and that kind of thing, where we just post, here's my situation. And there's others that are out there. I think they're really too kind of restrictive. They're really, they crack down on people who post things, and it's kind of questionable, but it isn't that bad. There's a lot of them out there, but maybe one that's sort of just linked to this channel. Don't know what you guys think about that. Maybe put your feedback in the comments. Certainly like to know what you think. I like easy money and low interest rates. Most of the inflation exported to other countries, and we get great sales years like 2020 and 2021. I think you had a lot of people who had, like in 2020, had that free money, right? People who didn't even need it got it, right? So they're going to either go on vacation, extra money to buy these trinkets that I was maybe looking at buying and I couldn't afford, but now I can. 2021 was a year where things were starting to look better. We weren't locked down. Well, part of the year we weren't locked down. Things were starting to look like they were getting better. And of course, we're not locked down anymore. With the mask, and I'm thinking more like having to wear the masks and all that stuff. Things were looking better, and people were, getting back to work and stuff. But I think that there's a lot of, just in my mind, a lot of things I'm reading and seeing. There's a lot of games being played by the Federal Reserve that's keeping our economy in check. But I think they're running out of tricks, and I think we're seeing that right now. And I think that's kind of where we're at. And it's just a matter of time, and let's hope I'm wrong, a matter of time before their house of cards comes tumbling down, and it's going to affect each and every one of us. Let's hope that's not the case. But to be honest with you, whether I'm right or wrong on that, it's because I'm always looking for information. I want to know what's going on with our economy, and like it or not, it's not about being political. This channel is not about political, so don't post anything political here. I don't care who you vote for, want an office, don't want an office. It's not about that. We're all in this together, and we all have to deal with high gas prices. High gas prices leads to higher prices in the grocery store, higher prices for products in general, and of course, eventually higher pricing for you when you source. So it's always a good idea not only to focus on eBay stuff when you're looking at YouTube channels, but always keep yourself in tune with what's happening with the economy, because especially retail, when they start talking about retail's down, well, that's going to affect you. Now, in my opinion, I think when retail's down initially, people then will gravitate to sites like eBay. Instead of buying it new, they'll buy it used, they'll buy open box to save a few bucks, right? But when that money tightens up, where are those buyers going to go? Are they going to just not buy that item altogether? How is it going to work out? And by being in tune with a lot of these things, a lot of the stuff that affects the economy, you can kind of brace yourself, which is why I'm doing that corner shop stuff on the side. When things get slow, which they have been, spend a few hours doing that after I've listed the items I listed for the day, break the monotony, and make some money, more money on the side. So it's about not putting all your eggs in one basket. Now, if the economy was hot, you know what? I wouldn't even consider that. I'd be just knocking out listings because I know the listings are going to sell. But sometimes I'm listing stuff thinking I have a good product. I may not sell that laser printer, that multifunction laser printer for a month. Whereas in a hot economy, it may only take a week. So go figure on that. 100 Acre Wood says clothing is about the brand's quality, sizes. You have to know what is popular. Yeah, tune into a lot of channels where they tell you the BOLOs, this, that, and the other thing. I mean, heck, fine. I buy a bunch of clothing items, right? Now I'm listing these items. I don't know well, I guess I know a V-neck, but like a crop neck from a whatever neck, I couldn't tell you. I would leave those item specifics blank, and I would be behind the 8 ball because someone looking for that type of shirt wouldn't find mine because it wouldn't have that item specific filled out because I didn't have it set correctly. So if you like clothing, have been working with clothing, throughout your life, and know a lot about clothing, then certainly. But for me, it's not my cup of tea. Victor says free money has always been given to large corporations. Farming has 168 billion for 2022. You're right. And they play the shell game to sort of mask that so it doesn't hurt the economy. And I think they gave all that money out to people to keep people from leaving their house. Like that was how am I going to make money if I can't leave my house? Okay, fine. Take this money, stay home. And I watched some videos on other channels where they're talking about how that's being discussed, where they're doing it again. I don't know, but it didn't help our economy any, that's for sure. Let's see. We should start eBay stock. Their numbers are going to be disappointing probably, or we should short eBay stock. Don't know a lot about, I'm not in the stock market. It was funny, many years ago, one of the regrets of my life is I had an opportunity back in 2011 to buy Bitcoin very cheap. And I almost did. I had money put aside to do it, and someone talked me out of it. And I wouldn't be talking to you right now had that happen. Now, Bitcoin's not as good as it was, say, 6 months ago. But knowing me, I would have liquidated a lot of that when it was at a high mark. I think it was like $67,000 per Bitcoin at one point. I know that because Tom Brady, when he set that record, that NFL record, he gave a fan like a Bitcoin for giving up his football, and it was worth like $67,000 at the time. No One Design 2 says, hit the like, people. John's Cha-ching just rubbed off with 4 sales. With you, hopefully you got 4 sales. That's awesome. I haven't had another Cha-ching, but you know what? I'll take 1 Cha-ching per live. Maybe I'll go live multiple times per day. No, it's cool. I sell, on the average, I sell 6 items a day, I think is what my numbers are at. So some days I'll sell 2, some days I'll sell 10. It's just what I have. Building up my store, I think it's a numbers game. It'll improve that. But, I'm going to, like I said in the other video, I'm going to start focusing more on larger ticket items though. Yes, just came in, did some grocery shopping, and it's starting to get rougher here in California. Prices of groceries are going crazy. If you guys find a grocery store, and this is not related to eBay at all, so I apologize, but something I realized, if you're trying to save some money, find that grocery store that's going to save you some money. Not all grocery stores are the same. Some might be more convenient to you. I just went over to Winco. You guys know what Winco is. If you're in California, we have, I think, one here in Vegas. That's like 6 miles for me. It's worth me driving those 6 miles, even with the high gas prices. because they got some good deals. I don't know if you've ever shopped there, but definitely, even with prices with the groceries right now, go check them out. You're going to save some money. And that's not this channel's not sponsored by Winco, by the way. Ricardo says, smash that like button for the channel. John and Jenna. Jenna's just chilling right now. I was going to have her on the channel, being that she took the day off, but you know what? It's her day off. She's been working. I don't want to make her have to, she likes you guys, but I don't want to make her feel like she's got to actually be in front of the camera. Some people don't like being in front of the camera. She's one of those that's like, I got to do my makeup, got to do this, do that. And I didn't want to put her through all that. It was hard to buy Bitcoin in 2011. Had to meet someone on a back alley. Also hard to sell top at 67K. First, you have to stick with it through the crashes. Then you have to not be greedy. I would have basically taken half of whatever I had, liquidated it, which would have been, based on my initial investment, would have been quite a bit. I don't know if I would have gotten a 67 though. I think I would have sold half of it well before then, just to get myself some stability. But it is what it is. We could talk about what if all we want, right? I'm sure many of us have regrets in life that we could have done differently. And guess what you can do about it? Nothing. Just keep moving on and try to do better. Ricardo says 2 cha-chings, 5 items sold while packing and listening to the broadcast. So hopefully I'm lucky to you guys. Good. But save some cha-chings for me. That'd be super appreciated. Gas prices went up 50% or 50 cents overnight at my local gas station. Wow. Well, I need to get out there and gas up then. Hopefully it doesn't go up anymore, but I'm sure it will. Let's see. Lucky 7 Auction, watching from Aiken, South Carolina. Thanks for watching. I certainly appreciate that. Corey Cloud says, I finally made a live, or what's left of it. Great channel. Well, it's funny. We always seem to get to this point where we're over an hour and we've, made it this far. Probably take a couple more minutes, but we are getting close to winding down. Tommy says, after Jenna suggested a new segment, Tea with Jenna, we haven't seen her since. No, you know what? That's funny you mentioned that. I don't think we're going to have a live on Monday because I'm going to be doing so much stuff. She's off on Monday, but the next time she has a day off, maybe I'll do one of these lives on the weekend and I'll coerce her into hanging out with me, and I'll make sure she has some nice ice cold iced tea on the video. Yeah, we need proof of life of Jenna. Well, guess what? She's up asleep. She's hit the pillow, and I don't think there's a lot of life right now, but she'll be up pretty soon. Let's see. Aunt White, how you doing? I got my first negative review. Person, don't read the details, never even contacted me about a refund. Now, then they left you a negative review. If they said something to the effect of maybe the item was missing X, Y, and Z, and you explicitly stated in the listing that X, Y, and Z wasn't included, you can go on to eBay seller help and request a feedback revision and state specifically it is against eBay's terms that the buyer can ask for something that is not in the sale. I actually had a negative removed for that reason. So give that a shot. I mean, it never hurts, right? I mean, we could always just say, you know what, I got a negative feedback and move on. But why not try? You don't have to call in. Just go on and use the same form that the rep is going to use and type in, why you feel like the negative feedback should be removed and see what happens. No One Designed 2. Hey, John, change your hit the like button to the cha-ching button. Yeah, if you guys hit the like button, chances are you're going to get a cha-ching within the next 24 hours on your account. I think that's easy to say whether I said that or not, but hopefully you guys hit that like button. I appreciate it. Tommy says, not a lot of life right now. No, she's hit that pillow and she sleeps. So definitely. And you know what? In my opinion, I'm so thankful to her because we now have health care. She's, bringing in consistent income on that end. She seems to be somewhat happy. She's met some friends that live in the area because she does this work all through, she's going to be taking calls for a large healthcare company, and she's doing the training right now. And there's people from around the western side of the United States, and she's met a couple people that live out here that she's even met up with, and has some things in common. So I'm so happy for her that she's doing that, and she's not caught up into everything that I'm doing. So it's really taken a lot of stress off of me, because have that consistency in an environment in a time where things aren't that consistent, and people are kind of worried about, hey, how am I going to, pay this and pay that. So definitely very thankful for her. But I'm going to have her sit with me on a live here pretty soon. That's for sure. Ken PDX says, as always, a great chat. Always learn something, get an idea to mull over. Winco is fabulous. I only shop there now. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff, and you just got to check it out. If you've never been there, check it out. And next time you go grocery shopping, and you're going to save quite a bit of money. So, guys, I just want to thank you guys for supporting the channel, and thanks for hanging out with me today. Um, you know, you're going to encounter times like summer slowdown, and summer slowdown when you hit a holiday weekend, and you're going to get lower sales because of it. And you just need to know that's a thing, and don't get discouraged. Don't let summer slowdowns and things like this, reports of bad economies. You see me being Debbie Downer about, you watch out for this happening and that happening. But these are just all things and all signs of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent 4th of July weekend, and you will hear from me and maybe Jenna very soon. Take it easy, everyone. Have a great